y'all doing?
Now, in this week's episode, of course, I'm gonna do another episode of Funny Time, of course, of through the past and present of whatever happened to me in my life. In this week's episode, I'm gonna tell you about the time when, of course, in the summer after I went to summer school, they told me that I passed and I was going on to the seventh grade, and I was so excited. And my father decided to do this thing for me, this surprise before school started again. And, I was excited and all. And my father told me, since we've been going fishing around the lakes and stuff, he wanted to take me on a boat. And then when he called me after I got the news that I passed, he told me a surprise was coming and it include fishing.
Now I didn't know what was he planning. I didn't know what was he doing. I didn't know what time he was going to pick me up.
But he just came in the car with the fishing rod, with the fish equipment, all the baits and stuff, and he opened the door, and I looked a little confused. I looked in the back, I saw the fishing rods, and I figured out, oh, where was we going? So, as you know, I get in the car looking at my father. He told me, congratulations on passing your summer school test or whatever. And I'm looking at him smiling, cheesing, looking like the Joker for some type of reason. We drive off, and something hit me about fishing again. And I just got this feeling, and I didn't know what to do. And I was just confident on what to do when I get those fishes and just feel proud, but I still didn't know where we was we going at first. So we get to the gate and I'm very a little nervous of what we was doing, but I looked around the surrounding area and I saw a lot of boats. And excuse me, and it hit me. We're going on a boat and we're going fishing for a while. And I looked at the time, it was early, it was around like 10 or 11 o'clock. And my father said, and he really said to me in my face, this is what he said. Nice day. We're going to be out here for a while. So after, we got our little snacks and our food to go on the boat to eat and whatever, just in case we get hungry, we went to like the bait, I think the fishing store where you get like the worms and stuff before you go fishing or whatever for the fish bait and stuff. We got some of those materials, those tools, and we headed down to the boat. And we didn't know what boat we was getting on, but I knew it was going to be crowded because that same day we was going fishing, it was hot. I mean, spicy hot. Like, I could even feel. Well, I felt something, but it was hot. So then, after we got on the right boat and everything, and it was crowded and everything and all, so we got to the first stop around, the ocean or whatever, because, since we was going fishing, the the captain kept going around the ocean, at stops and areas where it was quiet and where he thought us people could get fish a lot. But personally, it took a while for me to just to get one fish. But let me tell you one thing. It was so quiet like a freaking library. I mean, it was so quiet when one of the dudes on the boat caught a fish. He screamed louder than Mariah Carey, saying, "Yay!" Made me almost had a heart attack and jumped off the boat to save my own life. But I looked back and said, whew, he's just excited. He just got hyped. I'm fine. I'm cool. So meanwhile, I think at the third or second stop where we got to around the ocean, I caught a fish, and I'm telling you, I waited so long. I waited like 30 to 40 minutes to catch that one fish. And it was so funny because there was a ruler on the boat to see how long was the fish, and if it was a certain distance, you could keep the fish. If it wasn't that same distance as the line or as big as the ruler on the boat that shows you what kind of fish you needed, you had to throw it back in the water. And guess what kind of fish I got? Not so big. But when I caught the fish, I thought it was going to be okay. I rolled it up, I looked at my dad, and I did one of the most craziest, hyperest dance you can even see. I mean, when I caught that fish, I looked around, I looked at myself, and I just.
I caught a fish, I caught a fish, I caught a fish, I caught a fish. I've been waiting for a while, but now I'ma smile, cause I caught a fish, I caught a fish, I caught a fish, I caught a fish. Hey dad, we gonna eat this for dinner in a dish. I caught a fish, I caught a fish, I caught a fish, I caught a fish. Alright, let me stop.
So after that brief and so, emotion of excitement, I put the fish on the ruler and it wasn't that big. And I was just like, really? So I was tired, and as you know, I took a break after, I tried to get a fish, but it wasn't as big as I thought. So, as you know, I took a break. My father, started doing his fishing part. I went to the back to eat, some pretzel chips and some other stuff that I felt hungry to eat. And I went upstairs because, the boat was big. So I went upstairs to look around. And I heard a loud scream again. And some dude caught a big fish. And I'm just like,
It's funny because on that side of the boat, he get fishes, but on my side, I don't get nothing. Let me just move over there and see if I can get something.
but then again, it was crowded on that boat, so I couldn't get space to fish over there where that other guy was at. And plus, my father did not feel like moving because he had all his stuff right there in his little spot. And I had my pretzel chips and my Lay's and my sandwich and my Coca-Cola and my water and my other Coca-Cola and my other sandwich and my father's half sandwich in the bag. And we wasn't going to move all of that to the other side because it's too much work. So afterwards, a couple stops later, my father caught a fish and I was excited for him. But for me, I was excited that I caught a fish, but wasn't excited to keep it because it was that big enough to be outside of the water, but I had to throw it back in. So it was a good day. Yeah, it's a good day. Yeah, pat myself on the back after I got off the boat. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that day was fun. Just being with my father, watching him catch a fish, a nice fish too, while I just sit back, look at the ocean, and feel like I'm on my permanent vacation. That's my story of me and my father going fishing on the boat this time, and it was fun. Well, thanks for watching. See you later next time on other videos. Peace.